Hi y'all! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, also known as Shadowplay MUA, and if you haven't heard yet, we're planning on raiding Area 51 on September 20th. If you're watching this in the future, please come back and tell me if it was successful or not. So I'm thinking today we're just gonna do a very Area 51 stormy appropriate look. I already did one eye just so I kind of know what I want to do, but other than that I have no plan for this. I just know that I really want to paint myself green. So without further ado, let's jump into it and see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to finish these eyes first, and then we're going to move on and get crazy for the rest of this look. I just can't believe how much this Area 51 thing is blown up. When I first saw the group, I was just like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Now it's kind of taken on a life of its own to where even the Air Force, I believe, has made comments about it and said, hey, don't do this or you're gonna get blown away. So of course we have to use the JEFFREE Star Cosmetics Alien palette for this look. There's no other palette that would have been more appropriate for this. Speaking of Jeffrey, he has actually commented on this situation as well, saying that he was going to go get his family. So obviously this is a really big eye look, so I'm just taking my transition color all the way up past my brow bone. So a lot of people ask me, why and how did aliens kind of become my obsession? And believe me, they really are an obsession for me. There's a lot of reasons. I've always been a believer. And I've been doing a lot of meditating and kind of self-exploration lately. And a lot of memories are kind of coming back to me, which is kind of creepy. I remember as a kid, I went through a phase where I was absolutely terrified of aliens. And I have this memory, and I don't know if it was my imagination or not, but I remember seeing aliens, like the classic grays with the big heads and big eyes. I remember seeing them in this really specific spot in my house, and it just really freaked me out for a while. I was afraid to like go around corners because I thought they would be standing there. And I really don't know if it was like something that actually happened or just like my imagination, but I just recently remembered that and I thought that was kind of freaky. And I have recently had what I like to consider extraterrestrial contact in meditations and astral projection and all that. And once again, this could all be completely made up in my head, but that's kind of how I live my life. I like to go with the craziest explanation for things versus going with the most logical. Life is way more fun that way. And by the way, I'm using Titan, Gravity, and X-Files from the Alien palette for this transition and this kind of crease color situation that's happening. Anytime the topic of aliens come up, I'm just all over it because I want other people to believe. So this whole trend, I feel like, really says a lot about the state of society right now. We're so desperate to like band together and stop being divided that something like this just kind of sparks our imagination of like what would happen if we actually stopped bickering among each other and did something productive. So I kind of feel like this might actually have some like positive effects on society, even though it's completely made up and people probably won't do it. By the way, I really suck at talking while I'm doing a look like this because it just takes so much brain power. So if I start rambling, please forgive me. So another cool alien-related story is this spring I went to Sedona with my dad, Sedona, Arizona, which is so far my favorite place in the entire world. It's just replete with New Age shops and psychics and crystal shops, and it's just the best place ever for someone like me. and it's just the coolest place ever. The scenery is so beautiful, and it's just like you're in another world. We went on a UFO tour while we were there. If you don't know, the whole southwest of the United States is just one of the hot spots for UFO activity. Aliens just kind of love it out there. That's where Area 51 is located. It's in Nevada, if you didn't know that. But anyway, Sedona is supposedly one of the places where humanity's healing is going to kind of spring from. And when the extraterrestrials decide to make themselves known, that is one of the first places that they're going to reveal themselves. So like I said, we went on this UFO tour, and it was at night. We went out to a somewhat remote location, and we were equipped with military-grade night vision goggles, and the tour guide, who was very, very kind, very informational, she explained to us what to look for in the sky, how to differentiate between a aircraft, between a satellite, between a shooting star, and a actual unidentified flying object. So she explained that first, just so we would kind of know what we were looking at, and then we took the time, maybe about 2 hours, to observe the sky and point out what we saw. And immediately while she was doing her intro, I saw, with my naked eye, just some weird activity in the sky. I saw lights appearing and kind of moving around the sky in an irregular pattern and then just disappearing. And that was with my naked eye. So I immediately was like, whoa, weird, I'm in for it right now. So at first my dad was a total non-believer. He thinks I'm crazy for all this stuff. Like, he knows how obsessed with aliens I am. He just doesn't get it. But within maybe 15 to 20 minutes of looking through the military goggles, he started to point things out in the sky. And I was like, ha ha ha, I've made a believer out of you. And he started to really get excited too. Like, he was just like, oh my god, I see it, do you see that? And I'm like, yes, Dad, I see it. And some of the stuff that we saw was explainable. Like, we saw some satellites and stuff that was just regular sky stuff, but there were a few that we were kind of like, okay, mark that one down. That was weird. So yeah, that was just an amazing experience. I want to do it again so bad. I'm gonna go in and cut this crease and stop talking for a minute so I don't mess up. Okay, so for yellows and greens, I'm gonna go in with my Bright Lights palette by Pinky Rose Cosmetics. This stuff is like pressed pigment. It's really, really intense. So yeah, I'm a really big believer in extraterrestrial life. And I'm not the type of person that like has a concrete answer on the stuff. I just think everything is really up to your own experience. And like, who are we to say that someone's experience that they had is wrong or not correct? And this is coming from someone who used to be like a hardcore atheist. Anyone that had beliefs that were outside the realm of popular science, I just thought they were a total lunatic. And here I am years later talking about my extraterrestrial experiences on camera. Oh, what has life done to me? Now I'm just gonna layer some shimmery colors over top of those shades that I just did. I'm gonna use the shimmery gold shade from the MAC It's Designer palette. I'm gonna pick up some of that and spray it with Fix Plus so it sticks really good. And then I'm gonna mix a couple of the shimmer shades from the Alien palette. Now I'm going to use some of Ghost OG, which is one of my favorite colors from this palette, and start kind of smoking this area out. And a little bit of Black Hole too, a black shade. I'm also going to stop talking while I do my wing. It's hard enough to do with my mouth shut, let alone open. By the way, this wing is gonna be thick. Alright, so now that this wing is on, I'm gonna go in with Black Hole from the Alien palette and smoke it out. When I do this kind of eye look, I like to make sure the wing is like almost a perfect little acute triangle, if that's the word. It's been a long time since I've been in geometry class, but it's almost like a long skinny triangle, if you get what I'm trying to say. I think it just totally reshapes your eye. Alright, so for this bottom lash line, I'm going to use Drug Lord by Jeffree Star, the liquid lipstick. Now I'm just going right up under where I put that white and just carving that out. Then I'm going to go back in with Drug Lord to create this little liner along my cut crease here. I'm just going to pop some lashes on. These are Chanel by Angel Wing lashes. These are absolutely massive. I feel like I have like a chinchilla on my eyes when I'm wearing these. But they're so awesome. And after this, we're gonna jump into the part where I have no plan at all, and I'm just gonna go with the flow, go with the creative juices. Alright, so there is the eye. I'm not gonna mess with my bottom lashes yet because I'm still deciding if I want to do false lashes on the bottom. I probably will. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the face. The most exciting thing that happened to me today is I went to a craft store that is going out of business, unfortunately, and I picked up the SNAZAROO face paint palette. Now, even though these are marketed as like a kid's face painting thing, I've used SNAZAROO face paints before and they're actually really, really good. They stay on really well, they dry down nicely, and this is normally like $66, so it's not like it's cheap. I got it 50% off for like $24, and I was like, this is a strong need. So we're just gonna play around and see how these perform. I also picked up some of these SNAZAROO sponges. I don't know how crappy these are gonna be. I'm gonna try them, and if they don't work out, I'm just gonna switch to my beauty blender. So what I'm really kind of envisioning for a base is like a pale minty green. So I'm gonna mix some of the yellow, green, and white. Okay, yes, this is about what I wanted. I don't know how this sponge is gonna do though. Okay, so far so good. I'm also trying to decide what I want to do as far as eyebrows go for this look. I feel like eyebrows are a distinctly human thing, that they should not be involved in an alien makeup tutorial. So around this time of year is when I start getting excited for Halloween. And every year I try to up my game a little bit as far as makeup goes. This year I am definitely gonna get more into the special effects realm of things with actual, you know, liquid latex and fake blood, more stuff like that, since I'm usually just kind of like painting myself. I really want to kind of blow it out of the water this year. So if you guys have any suggestions on products, techniques, ideas, especially ideas because I'm usually running kind of short on those, please comment, DM me. I need all the help I can get. The sponge is actually not doing too bad. I'm really, really impressed. Ooh, I'm actually kind of liking this kind of shape that's happening here. I might actually play that up a little bit. See, this is why I never have a plan for stuff. It kind of just happens as I go along. I really wish I could go out and make up like this every day. I feel more like myself with like crazy makeup than normal makeup. Yes, I'm actually so shocked at how even this all looks. Okay, so before I go in and do any detail work, I'm going to set this with some translucent powder just because it feels a little wet still. And now I'm just going to go in and do some contouring, just kind of bringing some dimension into this look. I'm really hoping these shadows go over top of this paint well. I'm thinking I want to bring some more gray tones into this too, so it's not just like corny solid green. I'm going to really contour my chin and see if we can get it to look like really pointy, like the little green men. Okay, I want to start adding some glow to this look. Some otherworldly glow. So this is the MAC HyperReal palette. This has like unicorn colors in it. Not sure how highlighter is gonna go over top of this paint, but we'll find out. Now I'm just going to pop some glitter on the high points of my face where I put the highlighter. And this is Iridescent White by MAC. I'm so nervous to see how this adheres. Okay, not too bad. Iridescent White is such a cool glitter because it changes color depending on where you're looking at it and what color is underneath it. That being said, it's a very unpredictable glitter, so I kind of took a risk by putting this on this look. Now I'm just going to go through and do a little bit of detail shading. Okay, let me pop a lip on here. This is No Offense by JEFFREE Star from his new summer collection. I also picked up some little silver confetti circles from the craft store today. I think I'm going to use those as accents all along this line here. Alright, final step. I think I have some strip lashes that I want to cut into pieces and apply to the bottom lash line here. I don't know if I want to add any more on the bottom. It looks kind of exotic with just the two. Maybe one more on the outer corner. Yeah, I like it with the two on the bottom. Cool. Alright, I think this is the finished product. For having no plan at all, I think it came out pretty cool. Hopefully the aliens at Area 51 will be impressed. Comment down below if you've had any extraterrestrial experiences. I definitely want to hear all of your stories. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on this video so I know I'm doing something right. I'm gonna go eat some tacos. I smell them cooking upstairs and I'm like, I gotta hurry up and finish this. Thanks you guys. I'll see you at Area 51. Be there or be square.